Hey guys, welcome back. As always, better late than never. Today I am working on my one little word prompt for August. It wasn't necessarily intentional that I left it till the last minute to film the video or to do the prompt, but it just happens to be how it's worked out. I have been kind of mulling it over and thinking about the actual prompt most of the month really, so I guess leaving it to the end it's kind of a good thing. Let's say I did that purposefully. And so really today is going to be super quick because I've already kind of done the hard work. This month was about stories we tell ourselves, and so I've already done my journaling. I've got an idea for how I want to put that into my album. So I'm just going to get started and we're going to whip through this super quick.
So because I want to sort of hide my journaling, I'm going to create kind of a folder that goes in here. The other thing that I need to sort of pay attention to is the kind of art piece that this folder is going to sit next to. So there's a whole lot of colors in there. I wasn't sure I was going to be able to find something that would sort of be subtle enough to work in there, but I just so happened to find this lovely sort of, it's a creamy kind of beige color with a little black cross on it. This is from the This Is Us collection from Rosie Studios. And what I'm doing is trimming down a piece that is 9 inches wide and 8¼ inches high, and then I scored that at 5 inches. Now you can see when I folded that, I actually folded it so that the pattern is on the inside. I knew these Rosie Studios papers would work perfectly for what I want to do because they are single-sided, so the white on the back of it is exactly what I wanted because I'm going to do some stamping. What I do want to do though is just add a little bit of kind of embellishment on here, and that same collection has these gorgeous sort of floral clusters, floral packets, and so I picked out a larger one of those. This is the perfect opportunity to use that because I struggle to use these kind of larger florals anywhere else, so adding this one singly here on its own is going to work perfectly. Now, like I said, I want to do some stamping because earlier in the month I was doing another project, but I found all of these older citrus twist stamps that had sort of a story theme to them. So I thought they would be perfect for this month's prompt. They've been sitting out on my desk ever since. I knew I wanted to do some sort of stamping with them, and this is what I've worked out to do. So just to give me a little bit of an eye on where that die cut's going, I just used a pencil and really lightly kind of traced, not the outside of it, sort of underneath where the die cut was going to go, just so I know not to waste my time sort of stamping in that particular spot. And then I'm going to just pick out some of these stamps, and I'm stamping in 4 different colored kind of green and blue inks. Now the reason I've picked those colors again is to sort of match that sort of arty piece, to try and bring some of those colors together, and also I guess it gives a little bit of a contrast to that floral piece as well. So it looks a bit kind of strange on its own, having this blue and green stamps here, but it all comes together in the end. Spoiler alert, just let me reassure you of that. Now what I did was start with some of those bigger stamps. They obviously take up a little bit more visual room, so I made sure to stamp them first, and I made sure to stamp them so that they are going to be sort of partially covered by this floral piece. It's not really like a repeat pattern or even a pattern in general, but I'm creating kind of a background for this floral to sit on top of. So my entire purpose was to have some of those stamps in behind the floral piece. Otherwise, if that's not a look that you're into, you would just stick down your die cut first and then stamp around the outside of it, making sure not to stamp on any of that die cut. Now, the only thing that has happened is I was trying so hard. I've even been cleaning my stamps in between, which you know I never do. I managed to get a little bit of ink on my finger and smudge a little bit of ink on my background piece right at the end. Couldn't believe it really, but you wait and see. I've got a total fix for it. I added all those little stamps last, and then you can see me here. It gets a bit shaky here, but I go to town with my sand eraser on there and completely remove that little smudge. It worked perfectly. Must remember to do that next time I books up like that. It also helps that the paper's a little bit thicker, because obviously when you're sanding the paper like that, it is actually removing some of the fibers from the paper. So a thinner paper, I'm not sure would be quite as successful as this one was. Now I did go ahead and remove the pencil mark from the outside of the folder, just so that when I put that die cut down, I could make sure none of those pencil marks were actually going to be kind of just sneaking out from underneath it. And then I just needed to do a couple of little stamping bits and pieces on the journaling that I've done. Now I already knew the dimensions that I was going to work with for this particular project, so I did trim my paper before I ran it through the typewriter, and I did leave a couple of spots where I wanted to stamp out the word clear, and I had a little gap at the bottom here that I'm going to add another one of those stories back into. I ended up with 3 sheets here, and I've just stitched them together with my sewing machine. So then I'm going to add a little bit of adhesive just to the back one, and I'm going to pop that into my folder, and it's perfectly sized to fit.
So that's it. Told you it would be quick. I didn't want to put too much into it. I guess most of my effort into this prompt has gone into the sort of journaling of it, but I really like how this sort of ties in with this page here. I was a little bit worried after last month's kind of getting messy. There's a lot of color, there's a lot of texture, and so I needed something a little bit simpler on that side, but it does echo some of those colors, so I'm kind of really happy with the result. The back of this page is quite plain, which means I'll be able to use it for next month. Hey guys, I hope that you have been having a good month. Things have been a little bit hectic around here, so I hope that things are a bit gentler where you are, and if not, I'm wishing you all the best, all the grace to get through it. Thank you for watching. If you've got any questions, as always, leave me a comment, and otherwise I will see you again really soon. Bye guys.